Hello，大家好，我係 Coach。今集嘅題目係求職入學無可抗拒嘅終極絕招。哇，咩有啲咁嘅招數㗎？Coach 做咗幾十年工啦，就只係有2份工咧係見工失敗嘅啫。理由都錯不在我，而係基於一啲 politics，我係無法成功入職嘅。今集就同大家討論一下喺決勝局嘅時候，即係話如果有2個申請人係同樣嘅履歷、經驗、GPA，咁公司或者學校點樣揀出勝負呢？如果你知道嘅話，咁嗰個就係你嘅絕招啦。無論喺揾工、報讀學校，總會出現一啲情況呢，就係唔止一個人會有相同嘅資歷同埋工作經驗等等㗎。咁就係話一啲嘅 quantifiable 嘅 measurement 呢，可以用數據或者量化嚟到比較嘅項目呢，係得分相同㗎。咁接下落嚟嘅呢，就係叫做一個決勝局啦，即係話要揾出一個方法嚟到決定勝敗。咁究竟用咩方法呢？一定呢，就係一啲 qualitative，即係話唔可以量化嘅項目，即係比較素質啦。問題係用咩方法去比較報名者嘅素質呢？如果知道呢個秘訣啊，咁或者即使你未必可以百戰百勝，但係肯定會提升你嘅成功率。咁點解 Coach 咁自信呢？請你耐心一啲，睇完呢一集，相信你一定同意嘅。提提大家訂閱 Coach 教育頻道，俾 like、留言、社交媒體分享，多謝。決勝局呢係需要解決，究竟應該僱用邊一個人，應該取錄邊一個學生，獎項應該頒俾邊一個申請者更加優越。咁方法就係分辨出申請者係邊一類人啦。有2類㗎，係 reflective 反思，同埋 descriptive 係敘述。咁反思同埋敘述呢2類型嘅思維同埋表達嘅方式係好唔同㗎。反思呢係一種分析，對簡單嘅事情呢有深入嘅思考。佢哋會問點解我睇到呢啲情況，背後係一啲咩嚟嘅呢？至於敘述就係將當時喺面前嘅嘢原原本本咁樣去捕捉，亦都係將事情嘅始末同埋程序好清楚咁記錄。佢哋會問我眼前見到呢啲係發生緊係乜嘢事嚟嘅？反思型嘅思維模式呢，係展示認知能力、心態、態度同埋取向，呢啲都係成長同埋學習嘅基本素質，係一個對未來成就好可靠嘅預測器啊！所以更加重要嘅係反思型嘅思維呢，係可以學習性嘅本質，即係 learnability 啦。我哋睇下乜嘢係 learnability， 可以學習性。咁呢個係一種尋求新技能以持續學習嘅生活方式，係一種個人嘅取向。Learnability 係一種基本嘅技能訓練，令頭腦咧係變得更加敏捷嘅。佢使人咧更加可以掌握豐富技能嘅組合，一啲 skill set。隨住科技創新嘅加速，個人包括學生同埋專業人士啦，都會面臨着好多新嘅職業同埋呢啲知識喺度不停咁轉㗎。於是咧 learnability 一個學習性咧係作為一個基本嘅技能咧係變得係更加重要啦。可以學習性嘅咧成為最搶手嘅學生同埋個人企業嘅需要招攬嘅人才。好多研究顯示，持續學習嘅學生成就更加出眾。喺工作方面，能夠持續學習嘅員工，佢嘅薪金係會拋離佢嘅同輩嘅。學習能力係關鍵技能，我哋咧係要揾一啲學習嘅動物嘅。咁呢個係 Google 嘅執行主席所講嘅。企業咧係最需要能夠學習嘅員工，而缺乏呢啲能力嘅人咧係最快被淘汰㗎。接住落嚟 Coach 會更加詳細比較下反思同埋敘述呢2種思維方式會有唔同嘅咩表現啦。我哋就用2條好常見嘅面試題目睇一睇反思型同埋敘述型嘅思維方式係會作出點樣唔同嘅答案啦。呢2條常見嘅簡單題目就係你係咩動物？第二個就係話描述一個失敗嘅經歷。第一條題目呢 Coach 曾經喺有一集講關於見工問題，係介紹過 Coach 為 UBC 做見工訓練 Virtual Mock Interview 用過嘅一條基本問題啊。咁前些時呢，我就用呢條問題呢，就幫一位朋友練習見工喎。咁 Coach 就問佢啦 What animal are you？ 朋友就答 I'm like a rabbit, which is quiet and can run very fast and very cute。咁就答完啦。嚇死 Coach， 因為佢竟然咧就照字面嘅問題作答，完全係同工作無關嘅，亦都失去咗一個能夠介紹自己長處嘅機會，根本就係答就等於冇答。 咁因為咧顯示出佢嘅答案咧完全係敘述式嘅思維方式 （descriptive thinking）。如果係反思型嘅思維方式 （reflective） 嘅答案咧就會係咁嘅：I'm like a rabbit, fast, light and agile. I'm sensitive, attentive, calm, and therefore a good listener. See, I have super big ears. 咁佢將兔子嘅特性咧係充分發揮咗，係更深層嘅寓意，帶出好多企業極具競爭力嘅特別素質。最後咧亦都形容自己有超大嘅耳朵，呢個屬於一啲活潑或者幽默感嘅答題方式啦，會增加僱主對你嘅印象清晰並且深刻。唔好忘記啊！呢條題目雖然似乎好似係問你關於動物，但係其實係想問下你個人嘅素質嘅問題啊嘛。點可以淨係去描述一個動物，而係冇將呢個動物嘅特性帶出自己嘅優點呢？第二條題目係一個失敗嘅經驗，咁大多數人都會知道咧，你應該係講一個唔好嘅開始，從而帶出最後係有正面嘅教訓同埋有得着㗎。以下呢，就係一個描述型思維嘅答案。We are the first all-girls robotics team in Canada, but because of insufficient skills, we couldn't complete the robot for the competition. Nevertheless, we went on to win the provincial division and even represented Canada in the World Series. Eventually, we became one of the finalists. 咁表面上嘅答案咧都係對題啦，佢帶出咧團隊嘅弱點啊，最後有正面嘅後果，咁都OK 㗎，但係咧個得分係唔高嘅，因為咧你要睇下反思型嘅思維答案咧有啲咩差別先。I joined the robotics team only in the middle of grade 11. I lack all the coding skills and other skill set for building robots. Our team also lacks sufficient technical skills and the robot was never completed before the race. Nevertheless, we went on to compete in the World Series. But our robot broke down and I found a way to fix it temporarily during the race. I learned never to give up easily. I also learned team spirit and contribute whenever I can. Problem-solving skills is empowerment. I enjoy the satisfactory feeling of overcoming obstacles, and that is why I choose engineering. 咁申請人咧描述自己加入學校但係機械人團隊嘅時候咧，已經係學期中好遲先入啦。咁自己嘅程度咧同其他人咧係差好遠㗎。咁第二咧就係佢嘅團隊咧都係缺乏要求嘅水平，所以連個機械人製造過程之中咧都未能夠完成符合到比賽嘅要求啊。但係奇蹟地佢哋參加咗世界賽事啦。喺途中咧個機械人咧又撞爛咗，於是咧申請人咧就諗到個好簡單嘅方法，暫時補救到，等佢哋能夠繼續作賽。所以佢一共咧提出咗3個嘅失敗經驗。咁學到乜嘢咧？就係唔好容易放棄啦，有團隊精神同埋有機會嘅時候咧，必須要盡自己嘅能力作出貢獻。而最重要咧就係最後嘅教訓啦，解決問題嘅能力咧係比人更加有權力㗎。咁咧佢喜歡克服障礙嘅滿足感。而呢個就係佢選擇讀工程系嘅原因。咁呢個係一個真實嘅答案㗎。而家呢一個申請人呢，佢已經喺 UT 度讀緊第2年嘅工程系㗎啦。其實我哋啱啱所講過嘅一個失敗嘅經歷，呢個題目喺面試亦都係最常見嘅一個，可以參考剛剛呢位學生用課外活動嘅例子，代入到係你工作嘅 project 或者係一個 event， 佢結構同埋技巧都係完全相同㗎。咁究竟點樣去分辨出反思同埋敘述兩種唔同嘅思維方式呢？有冇一啲更加概括嘅特定性嘅分別呢？敘述型嘅思維咧就好鍾意捕捉某一個時間同埋空間嘅精神狀態同埋事物，例如 I used to take a ferry to cross the harbour every Saturday to take music lessons。我好鍾意咧逢星期六咧乘坐渡海輪咧就去學音樂堂㗎。反思型嘅思維咧就係分析隨時間同埋空間嘅變化，例如佢會話 After the Cross Harbour Tunnel was built, I took a bus and later the subway. Now music lessons are online. There is no more harbour crossing to enjoy the scenery, and not even human contact anymore. 當海底隧道建成咗之後呢，我就唔再坐船啦，而係坐巴士啦。後來變為坐地鐵，而家連音樂課呢都變為網上上課。唔單止冇機會坐船去欣賞海港嘅美麗風景，連人與人嘅接觸都冇埋啦。 敘述型嘅思維咧就好中意列出特點同埋經驗㗎，例如佢會話 I enjoy reading and used the public library very often。我好中意閱讀㗎，成日都使用公共圖書館。而反思型嘅思維咧就中意連接一啲想法同埋經驗㗎，例如佢會話 My mum took me to the public library when I was little, and I eventually become an avid reader. However, my brother who went with me never enjoyed reading。我細嘅時候，媽媽帶我去公共圖書館啦，我最終成為一個好狂熱嘅閱讀嘅人。但係同我一齊去嘅哥哥，從來都唔中意閱讀㗎。敘述性嘅思維咧，好中意列出一啲職責同埋活動㗎，例如 I have an elder sister who has special needs. I help taking care of her daily needs。特殊需要嘅家姐啦，我幫助照顧佢日常嘅需要。反思型嘅思維咧就會將自己置於社會文化同埋時間背景之中，例如 Although I am the youngest child in the family, I regarded myself a big sister and guardian angel of my special need elder sister。咁咧，因為佢屋企雖然佢係最細嗰個細路，但係將自己咧變為係大姐姐，為佢有特殊需要學習嘅姐姐咧，成為一個守護天使。敘述型嘅思維咧，佢哋會描述啲圖像，但係冇更加深層次嘅反思嘅。例如佢會話 I enjoy indoor gardening and have a lot of plants placed near the windowsill in my office and in my bedroom. Among indoor plants, I love bonsai the most。佢話好中意室內種植啦，喺辦公室同埋佢嘅房嘅窗台咧都擺咗好多植物。喺盆栽之中咧，佢最中意係盆景噶啦。反思型嘅思維咧，佢就話會用一啲關鍵嘅圖像或者經歷嚟到建構佢自己對於一啲世界上面嘅體會同埋理解。例如佢會話 I like bonsai because it's a scenery grown within a pot. It is a living thing, yet it resembles a Chinese painting.How the grower visualizes and then trains the plant according to the preconceived painting amazes me。咁佢就話咧，佢好中意盆景嘅，因為咧好似將個風景咧保存咗喺一個花盆裏邊，佢係有生命嘅嘢，但係又好似一幅中國畫，種植者咧係根據預先佢哋個繪圖咧幅圖畫咁樣咧，然後咧去訓練嗰個植物㗎。咁呢一點咧令佢感到好驚訝。咁可能你話啦，做咩講咩盆景啊？而家見工嘅喎，或者係我申請入學喎。咁呢一條題目咧就好多時候都會出現㗎，就係問你喺公餘嘅時間，或者你係有啲咩特別嘅嗜好咁樣樣。咁你呢個時候咧，佢其實真係唔係想知道你嘅公餘時間做啲乜，而係想理解你點樣去睇事物嘅一啲嘅睇法㗎。敘述型嘅思維嘅問嘅問題咧都好唔同嘅喎，佢哋係好嘗試去回答啲問題，係話出邊睇到啲乜嘢嘢呢？我喺度做緊啲咩任務呢？而反思型嘅思維咧，佢會嘗試回答啲問題係為乜嘢會發生呢啲嘢嘅呢？究竟點解會咁樣㗎？呢個情況我學到啲乜嘢呢？我正在喺度做緊啲乜嘢呢？或者話咁樣嘅嘢意味着有啲咩喺背後呢？點解我咁樣去做呢？我究竟做得啱唔啱呢？咁究竟為咩我哋要咁樣去回答呢？點解反思型嘅答案比描述型嘅答案更加受歡迎嘅？咁為咩反思型嘅答案會係勝出嗰個呢？因為佢能夠顯示出洞察力同埋自我反省，係一種成長型嘅思維，係批判性同埋分析性嘅思維。佢哋顯示能夠自我審查、自我糾正。顯示佢哋係主動學習同埋改進嘅一個心態。其實敘述式係最基本同埋最直接嘅初階思維模式，佢係記錄同埋收納咗時間、地點同埋人物嘅。接住落嚟嘅進階就係分析性嘅思維啦，就係話點解會咁樣嘅呢？跟住係點樣呢？經過分析之後，先至會有體會同埋反思。所以反思就係最高階嘅思維。你會問，呢個代表乜嘢啊？跟住落嚟會有咩影響？假如 呢啲嘅假設性問題等等。所以如果有兩個申請人，一個係敘述式，一個係反思式，咁就好清楚咁樣去展示到兩個人嘅能力同埋潛力呢係會有好大嘅落差嘅。以入學文章為例啊，描述性嘅文章得分係最低，甚至可能係唔合格㗎。而反思性質嘅文章呢，將會係得分最高，通常呢被評核為最出色嘅級別。所以申請人唔可以淨係睇題目嘅表面，例如如果問你公餘嘅時間有咩活動，其實僱主對於你嘅私生活一啲都唔感到好奇同埋興趣，只係俾你一個借題發揮嘅機會。如果你真係有碗話碗，有碟話碟，巨細無遺咁樣詳細報告你喺假期或者放工之後做咩活動呢，咁就係最一敗塗地嘅答案啦。因為根本冇人有耐性聽你描述生活嘅狀況。假若你嘅過去係曾經咁愚蠢咁作答過呢，希望今日睇完今集之後你係有所覺悟啦。另外常犯嘅大錯呢，就係申請人往往自作聰明，以為把握機會將自己嘅履歷不斷重複喺面試嚟到背誦，或者係佢嘅 cover letter、statement of intent 呢等等咧重複抄寫，實在令對方極為厭倦同埋無奈㗎。咁樣嘅面試或者入學文章呢，必定會徹底失敗。反思式嘅思維咧，永遠都係贏家㗎，包括以下讀書同埋喺工作嘅範疇，例如喺求職嘅面試啦、入學論文佢嘅寫作方式啦、獎學金嘅申請書啦、佢去演講啦，或者去做一啲商務嘅推介或者價值嘅定位，即係 value proposition 嗰陣時候，都會係好有用㗎。今集同大家介紹嘅 reflective thinking 反思性思維咧，係需要鍛煉㗎。除咗臨場個腦袋要運轉得靈活同埋有膽量去表達自己之外，其實係需要長期嘅生活浸淫嘅。反思性嘅思維 reflective thinking 係一種生活嘅方式，亦都係一種自我訓練嘅模式。有心學習嘅朋友不妨今日就開始練習，你將會終身受用不盡嘅。唔知道你用咩方式去思維嘅啦？你見工或者寫入學文章嘅時候係用咩形式去思維組織嘅呢？提提大家訂閱 Coach 教育頻道，俾 like、留言同埋社交媒體分享，多謝支持。